In this video, I'm going to walk you through my put scanner from Option Samurai, and you can get your 2-week free trial, no credit card needed. Link is down below if you want to follow on and replicate what I'm showing you on the screen. Now, when it comes to trading options, especially selling options, you need to find high probability setup. And again, most of the time, there are a number of scanners out there that you can use for free. However, Option Samurai is by far the best scanner that I have seen. And I'm not only going to walk you through the put scanner, but I'm also going to create future videos on a triangle scanner, on a call scanner, whatever it may be, or comment down below if you want to see a particular scanner, because they've got a number of pre-built scanners out the box. And all I've done is taken their current cash secure put scanner and recreate my own one. It's really easy. And again, if you need some help, you can book a free coaching one-to-one call with me, and we can go through this in a bit more detail. Again, link for that is down below. So in today's video, we're going to particularly look at puts. Now, whether you're doing puts for the wheel strategy, for the one-on-one strategy, a cash secured put, whatever it may be, this is the scanner that you need to be looking at now, and the filters that I use to create high probability trades. So what we're going to do is go through the columns that I've got, if there are any filters on there, all that kind of good stuff. And I'll show you exactly how I find out these trades. Now, the first thing to bear in mind, if you want a column on here, you have to add it as a filter. And then you can go to the gear icon and click on there and then move it up or down wherever you want to put it in your scanner. So again, this is how I like to look at it. And again, you'll have your own personal preference. And there are so many filters out there that you can look at. Again, you can go through technical, fundamental, or description. This is the most comprehensive scanner that I've come across, and it's got pretty much everything you can think of. So let's go through these one by one, and therefore you'll get an idea in terms of how we start to build these high probability puts out. So the first thing I look at is putting in earnings. I need an earnings filter in there. I always start with everything, and then I take out earnings as well. Now, the way that earnings work, so if I just put any in there, what you'll see is you'll have this telephone on here. If it's red, it basically means that during the date range you've selected, there is earnings for this particular ticker. So let's keep it on for now. But again, if you don't want to trade earnings or you don't want to get involved in anything in earnings, you can take that filter off and then sort out where earnings is after expiration, which is basically going to be where you want to be. Because basically what you want to do is you don't want to be in a trade where earnings is mid-cycle, for example, before you decide to close down or roll the option. Now, again, you can do stocks, ETFs, indexes, etc. I generally stick to stocks. I rarely trade ETFs or indexes. So again, you can select what you want there. I just like to have the RSI on here. And the reason why is if I'm selling puts, for example, I really want to be looking at stocks where potentially the RSI is below 30. So again, it gives me a bit more comfort factor that we are selling puts on a stock that's already overextended to the downside as well. It's not the be all and end all, but that's what I look at, and that's why it's on there. Option volume above 5,000. Again, we want to be trading options where we can get in and out relatively quickly. 5,000, I think, is the default there. You can do an advanced view and do 3,000, 4,000, whatever you want to do. But I think 5,000 is pretty good, and it generally shows me what I want to see. The next one is implied volatility, one of the key metrics to be using. And again, I don't have a filter on here. And the reason why is if you look here on the right-hand side, we've got things like SanDisk and ABVX. For some reason that I don't know is that it shows it as not applicable for these two stocks where they've definitely got an implied volatility. And if I just hover over this, the top one is the IV rank and the bottom one is the implied volatility of this particular stock. So that is the only reason why I selected to any. If anything, you don't really need this, if I'm really honest, based on the other filters that we have. But I have it on here so I can see what we're looking at, except for SanDisk and ABVX. The next one is moneyness, which basically means how far out the money in percentage is your strike away from the price. So, for example, LITE, the scanner's picked up the 230 strike, which is 40.5%, let's call it 41% out the money, right? So again, you've got a view there that the stock between now and, in this example here, 59 days away, which is the February monthly cycle, LITE has to drop 40%. So again, it gives you that kind of comfort factor that you can do that. So again, you can go as high as low as you want. Again, if you're a bit more conservative, you can go to 50. Let's see what options we get here, right? So again, LITE still comes in there at 50% going to the 190 strike as an example. So again, I've seen trades, particularly more on the upside. When we do the upside, we'll have a look at that in upcoming videos, is that you can go as high as like 100% and still hit the criteria that I want to hit because there's so much volatility out there in the market. But let's go with 40% for now. I like to have probability of expiring worthless on here, which is, again, their kind of option samurai's view on the world. But again, pretty similar to the delta here, where if you take 100 minus 7.5, you're pretty much there for the probability. It's just the inverse of the delta. So again, I just like to have it on there. Next one is the bid-ask spread. Again, you've got some wide ones here. LITE is quite wide. As I know, Sandis, which I trade a lot, is also quite wide. And you've got like MicroStrategy, which again is still wide. It's not pennies. It's still a lot better. So again, it's just good to know what that is. Then we've got the expiration date. So again, I've just selected for this example is the 20th of February, which again is the monthly cycle. If you prefer weekly options, you can go a week out, 2 weeks out, 3 months out. If you want to look at other things, again, I just like to keep it simple in terms of my trading, looking at the monthly cycles. So the ATR is the average true range, which measures the range of a stock over a set number of bars, which I think the default is 14. And what ATR on strike means is how many ATRs is your strike away from the current price, right? So for example, LITE, it's 6 ATRs away from the current price. And obviously the bigger that number, the better. Again, it's not a decision maker, make or break. I don't really have it. The ATR has to be above 5. I just want to see it on there. And if I'm debating on 2 stocks, for example, Light versus AppLoving, things like, which we'll go on to, is the premium, is it overbought, oversold, like, etc. That type of thing. It gives me more information to benchmark things against, as opposed to it has to be above 6. Then we've got delta, your standard delta inside there. I like to see where the delta is, but basically with the scanner and the way it's set up, we're looking at around the 10 or delta. In terms of credit, look, it has to be making at least 50 cents or more. And to be fair, when we're at the February cycle, which again is still quite far away, I might even up this to $1, but generally it gives you the kind of the top stuff because you sort it by bid anyway. So that's where it comes to. Then you've got the return and the annualized return. Now, these are probably, outside of premium, the next 2 factors that I look at in terms of, again, benchmarking is LITE better than APP, for example, right? So that is everything that I've got. And again, you can filter around the stocks here from there. One thing to mention about the bid is for here, it's got the bid ask levels here. I always go with the conservative number, i.e. in this example, like the bid, just so it shows me the worst case scenario. If I wanted to get filled today, right now, once I run the scanner, it is $5.80, where I'm probably going to make $6.50, $7 potentially. So I want to look at the worst case scenario when I'm looking at this scanner. So that's what we've got here. So the way I look at this is that I always sort it by premium because, again, I'm a premium seller. I want to be making a decent amount of premium. What you can do as well, you can sort this second column, the return largest and smallest on the second column there. And what it does is, no doubt, the one with the highest premium, and it also has the best return. Well, not the best return, but pretty high when you look at like the top 5, top 6. 2.59% for the time frame we're talking about in 59 days, making 2.6% on your money. If you did this trade every 59 days, annualized out, you're making 16% return on this one trade, which is absolutely fantastic. So by selling the 230 put, we're at the 7 delta, has a 93% probability of expiring worthless. It is oversold, pretty much getting there above 70. So for me, I'll be looking to see what this looks like on the call side. Is there a potential strangle opportunity here? All these kind of good things come into my thinking. And then it's 6x the ATR. And when I look here, you've got a couple of 8s inside here. But these are pretty big stocks. 726, 437, Light is cheaper. Again, we are pretty high up in terms of the ATR on strike. The volatility or IV rank is at 67. Again, still pretty volatile. And again, we do have a high bid-ask spread of a couple of dollars here. So again, the mid price is probably going to be about $8 to $9 on this. So I can probably get somewhere between $6 and $9 per contract going out all the way up to down to the 230 strike. And again, there we've got the earnings date, which again is on the 5th. And again, like I mentioned before, LIT is doing earnings on the 5th. Now, one thing to bear in mind here is that I like to roll the option at 21 DTE, right? Which in this example is going to be the last Friday in January, which, looking at my trusted calendar, is going to be the 30th of January. Now, the challenge we've got here is, so we are rolling this option before we go into earnings. So during the time that this option will be open to potentially make profit, there is no earnings play in there. Now, if LIT does start to go down and my 230 to 60 by 21 DTE, this option may not be profitable, right? So I could be on a small loss here, could be at break even, or it could be out of the 580 that I collect, I'm only up 50 cents or something like that. Now, knowing that information going into 21 DTE, we then now need to make a call on whether or not we want to roll this out into the March cycle and take this into earnings. So volatility is probably going to be the same or potentially even higher as we go into earnings the week after. All of those things come into mind, whether or not do I want the hassle for LITE, or what do I do? Do I go a bit more further out and go to the 220 strike or the 210 strike and see what that looks like by increasing up the moneyness to 50, 60% and see what happens? So again, all of these things you can start to take into account when you have this information before we've even looked at any options chain. So that's just a deep insight into my thought process when I look at it. So again, if I just take earnings out and let's just see what comes up, our trust and tried and where I made a lot of money is in SanDisk. So SanDisk again is trading at 243. We can go 42% out the money, which again, it's at 66. It's pretty much more on the overbought side of things. 4x ATR, Delta's at 6, 92%. We're going to make some money. 9% annualized return, $210 per contract. Not bad. That's a bread and butter selling the 140 strike and or a combination of the 111 strategy in there to make above $1 in credit around the same kind of break-even kind of mark. So that's what I'll be using that for if that's an opportunity to go down. And again, a lot of you may not have accounts that you can trade things like SanDisk. So again, you can put things like the stock price in there wherever. I've not even looked to see what the actual stock price is. The stock price, maybe. There you go. Technical data stock price, right? So again, we could say that it's below $100, right? Just as an example. So if we run that, now you've got opportunities here. Now we can start selling puts under $100, whether that's on margin or whether that is cash secured. So again, you've got things like BE. Heart is absolutely trading up at the moment. Again, up another 4.5% today. And again, this is edging on more on the high side. Again, I'll be starting to look at puts. Oklo could be one. Again, a bit more onto the downside. Again, you can go 45% out the money, get 60 cents credit, 8% return annualized. Again, if you're looking to make 1 or 2% a month, there's so many trades out there that we can just do right now for that. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Tune in, make sure you subscribe, make sure you get your free 2-week trial, no credit card needed. Link is down below. And again, we'll be looking at calls, strangles. So comment down below which one you want me to do next, and then we can get that video up and running. And I should see you guys in the next video.